Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements. This is patch 3.4.6, which I'm calling Better Living Underground. And that's because this adds the Vault 88 city plan. So if you've got the Vault Tech Workshop DLC, you have a new city plan available. Now you might be surprised at that because I normally do a trailer before the new city plans come out, but in this case I decided to use all the extra time I would normally do on a trailer to add some extra features. So before I get into that, I want to talk about a couple of things. First up, I'm going to be live streaming the Fallout 76 beta this Sunday from 11:30 EST to about 2 or 2:30 EST, and I'm going to be joined by some other mod authors. I'm going to be streaming with Sidante, with Inactium, and Niher, and hopefully a few other people that I have requested join us impromptu. So I haven't gotten enough commitments, but hopefully some more people will join us. But basically, we're going to play together. We're going to talk on stream about what we think about Fallout 76. We're going to talk about what I'm most excited about, which is what kind of stuff from Fallout 76 can we mod into Fallout 4? Because I only had about a half hour to play it the other day on Tuesday, and I immediately found a bunch of stuff we can definitely bring in. Some of the cool features we can bring back to the single player glory that is Fallout 4. So I'm hoping to have some great conversation with those guys to talk about all the things we can do going forward. And I'm sure we'll also talk about private servers and dream of those one day. All right, so before I go further on the patch notes, I do want to warn you guys there's a lot of talking in this video because I have some stuff that's very important to cover for you guys. So if you've got the time, please watch through it all. But if you don't have the time, just know that this adds the Vault 88 city plan. Okay, so before you get access to the Vault 88 city plan, you do have to unlock all of the sectors of Vault 88. Now, this is the first time I've done this with the city plan. I'm going to go back and start doing it with some of the other settlements because I know that while we spend a lot of time developing the Rise of the Commonwealth city plans and we try and make sure that they don't break quests, sometimes we still fail at that. I know there are some of you who still have problems with the castle quests if you build the city plan before you do those quests. And I realized the other day that a lot of the people doing community city plans might also be causing those same issues, and they don't have nearly the experience we do with building city plans, so it's even more likely that they'll trigger them. So rather than risk that, I'm just going to start locking city plans behind the quests that involve those settlements. And right now I've done it to Vault 88. I will be going back to do it to the castle, and if there are any other city plans that you guys are aware of that can cause problems, or any settlements that can have problems if you take them over before the quests are complete, I will do the same to those as well. So the others that I can think of off the top of my head would be Bunker Hill and the and of course I can't think of Covenant. I just couldn't think of the name. I did think of it off the top of my head, but not the name. Anyway, there are probably a couple others as well, so if you guys want to report those to me, I will get those locked behind quests just to make sure that you don't accidentally prevent yourself from completing those quests. That's ultimately the goal. And if there are enough of you that want to take that risk anyway, I can always add a holotape option that lets you screw yourself over. Okay, so know that you've got to unlock the sectors of the vault before you get access to the city plan. You will get a pop-up message telling you that that's the case, that you've unlocked the city plan. Now, not only do you get access to a city plan, you also get access to the Vault Planner's Desk. And this was donated to Rise of the Commonwealth by Mr. Captain Coots, the self-proclaimed master of the city plan desk. He has built lots of these variations for his add-on pack, and he was kind enough to do one for this city plan. Now, you'll actually be able to use that desk in other settlements as well, but just be warned that the city plans themselves all use the generic city planner's desk from Sim Settlements. So if you want to replace them with the Vault Tech version, just make sure you build it after the city plan has started, and that otherwise it will just keep getting replaced by the generic one. But anything you build after the city plan is already to the foundation level won't get touched. So that's just how those work. Then I decided to take things one step further, and this was at the behest of the testers who really wanted to see this, and I finally caved on my previous restriction of not adding any new city leaders, and I have made Overseer Barstow a city leader. Now she has some restrictions. Because she is DLC and has a lot of weird AI packages and things controlling her, I couldn't get her to successfully leave the vault without causing lots of issues, so she can only be the city leader of Vault 88. Now, there's one thing to be warned with that, is that you do not automatically get access to Overseer Barstow. You do have to complete the quests in the vault in a particular way. So if you want her, you need to go look up how to do that. There's basically certain ways you have to follow through some of her quests, and she will become available as a leader. And if you banish her, she will not be available as a leader. So some other things to know about her. I decided, since she was the first new one I was adding, I would do something special, and I created a new city leader trait. I haven't added any of those in a while, and obviously add-on pack authors are welcome to use this trait for other leaders as well. But that trait is the first major trait that has not only a benefit, but also a penalty. And so what it does, it's called Mad Scientist, and it guarantees every day you get at least one new settler from your recruitment beacon. But there's a chance every day that the experiments will kill one of your settlers. So that's why they're recruiting new guinea pigs at a rapid rate, because they're probably going to go through them. Now, I did make it so it won't kill your unique NPCs like Clem or anything, and it won't kill your companions. It'll only hit those random no-name settlers. But if you don't like that feature, then you'll have to wait till an add-on pack makes a version of Overseer Barstow without the Mad Scientist perk. But if you want to use the one in Rise of the Commonwealth, it's a little diabolical because that matches the Overseer. So spoiler alert, I guess I should have said, if you haven't gone through the Vault Tech Workshop yet, just know that the Overseer is a bit evil, as is appropriate for a Vault Tech employee. All right, so that should cover everything you need to know about this patch. Now I want to talk a bit more, and this is where I warned at the beginning of the video, things are going to get a bit wordy. We need to talk about the scrap crash. So if you have been following my videos, you'll know that we finally discovered the cause of the scrap crash. If you are a F4 SE user, you are fortunate enough to have access to a fix. You can clean up old save files. You can clean up your saves in real time, like as it's happening, so that you don't ever have to deal with the scrap crash again. Now, unfortunately, the rest of us are going to have to deal with this forever, basically. Now, I did turn in a full detailed bug report on how Bethesda might be able to fix this to them in case there's a chance that they are still doing engine level fixes for the patches that they release. I wouldn't hold my breath, but hopefully they will one day. But in the meantime, we've got to work together as a community to eliminate the scrap crash. So there are things that mod authors can do to help, and there are things you as a player can do to help yourself. So I'm going to first talk about the things mod authors can do, and I have done them to Sim Settlements, and I have done it to Workshop Framework, and Sidante has taken it one step further with Transfer Settlements and made it run automatically. So with Sim Settlements and Workshop Framework, anytime an item is scrapped by those mods, they're first checked to see if they are involved with power, which means that they might be in the power grid. There's basically this invisible thing in your save file called the power grid in each settlement, and this is the cause of corruption and the scrap crash. So what I've done with my mods is made it so that any of those items, rather than ever risking deleting them, which is what could potentially cause the scrap crash, it instead just hides those items. It basically hides them deep underground where you'll never have to deal with them again whenever it needs to scrap something. So if you run the town meeting gavel or you refresh your city plan and there were items having to deal with power that needed to get scrapped, it just hides them because there's no proper way to scrap things with code. Scrapping things is the only way to ensure that they don't get left in your power grid as a time bomb, and that means actually walking up to them and pushing the scrap button. That also includes vault pieces. So these things that transmit power are all in your grid. So anything in your grid needs to be scrapped manually. So any mod that offers scrapping, so that includes mods like Transfer Settlements or Sim Settlements, and I'm sure there are others that scrap things. If they scrap anything to do with power, they risk leaving a time bomb in your save file that will eventually corrupt a settlement so that you can't scrap anything in it anymore. Now, it's not just mods that can cause this. This can also happen if you uninstall a mod that adds new power pieces, such as SOE, or new mods that add new vault pieces, or any other type of piece that can transmit power by snapping. Those mods cannot be uninstalled without you first going through and scrapping everything from them that involves power. So the way to avoid this is basically just to follow the best secret known to Bethesda mod players, which is never uninstall a mod. If you start a playthrough and you have a mod in it, you should not uninstall that mod until you're ready to start a new playthrough. That's just a fact of life, unfortunately, with Bethesda games. Once you put a mod on a save file, you risk leaving basically time bombs in your save that will eventually corrupt it. Now, if you insist on removing a mod from your game that had workshop pieces, you need to be very careful to make sure that you have scrapped every single one of them, or you risk introducing the scrap crash into your own save file. So unfortunately for non-F4SE users, this is just something you're going to have to battle with forever. But if you're on F4SE, you can do whatever you want, basically, because we have a fix. So I am hopeful that maybe one day we'll see a fix in the base game and that we can stop worrying about this. But in the meantime, if you want to avoid the scrap crash and you like playing with save files for hundreds of hours, you just need to be very vigilant about the scrap crash. So I'm doing what I can to spread the word to the community so that we don't have to deal with it anymore. Some settlements and workshop framework will never cause it for you guys anymore. But like I said, there are probably other mods out there that can, and you can cause it to yourself depending on how you handle your mods. All right, guys, so I think that covers everything I needed to talk about. Once again, if you want to join me this Sunday from about 11:30 to 2 or 2:30 Eastern Time, I will be live streaming Fallout 76 with some modding friends, and we're going to talk about the game, and I hope you guys will join us. So all that said, take care and enjoy the mod.